Oh! That was close. That was a little bit close. Just like in Final Destination Bloodline. So, I have been to see Final Destination Bloodline, and I will say I really enjoyed the movie. It was a great addition to that franchise. I will say it's not like a closing chapter or anything like that. It's just another Final Destination movie. So if you like those movies, you're going to love this one. Also, if you like the film Monkey, I don't think you can see him sitting there, Monkey. If you like that film as well, again, along the same lines, lots of great over-the-top kills, lots of like anxiety-building kills, you know what I mean, where you're not sure where the death's going to come from, kind of looking for it everywhere. It is a phenomenal movie. Now, this review's kind of going to have a couple of little spoilers in it, certain scenes of the movie, because I need to address some things that happened while I was in the cinema. So I kind of want to get that sort of like out of the way. So there will be some spoilers in this video. So please, if you haven't watched the film yet, you don't want anything spoiled at all, go away and come back after you've seen the film so we can discuss the little things I want to discuss as the film goes on. Now, what can I say? The cast in this film is like any other Final Destination film. You've got the guys that are kind of like the arsehole type guys, you've got the fun guys, you've got the main sort of like hero girl that kind of has visions, but not in this one. It's a little bit different, this one. It's more visions from the past, if you know what I mean. We won't know unless you see the film. Hopefully you have, that's why you're here. So, to give you a basic story of this film without jumping into spoilers, back in the 60s, a big disaster happens on this like restaurant on top of a tower. Kind of reminded me of the Shard of it. Imagine if the Shard had a giant UFO on the top of it. It's kind of what this is like. So, they got this big tall like tower. That's what it's like, big restaurant, and it has a glass floor. Now, me personally, I hate heights. I hate going up high. It's like my biggest fear. So that would be a nightmare for me. Standing on a floor made out of glass with nothing underneath me. To me, that is absolute hell. However, the film has this opening scene. Like in all Final Destination movies, they had that mega opening scene, which would lead to loads of deaths, and then you get someone has a premonition. And in this movie, it's set in the 60s at the beginning. So this happened in the 60s, and obviously the big disaster happens, which is on par with the other disasters. It's a really good disaster. I will say it's a really good one. Not as good as number 2. I still think 2 has the best sort of opening disaster of any Final Destination movie with the logs on the truck, because that has like scarred a generation. It really has. When anyone's driving behind one of those lorries with the logs on the back, you instantly go Final Destination. You start like, oh god, as you drive, ooh, like, you know. Where we're going? So yeah, so great opening sequence, a lot of deaths and really horrific, gory deaths. One guy literally just blood everywhere. A lot of burnings and stuff like that. So it's a real nice little death scene, but it's exciting. It's like everything going off at once, you know. And of course, you find out later on that is a vision as well. And also and when you get the vision of it, then you stop it, and everything, like you save people, and then death comes after them, like any other Final Destination movie. This one a little bit different, where because of the events then, it took death a long time to sort of like catch up to killing everyone. So now we've got a whole new like 2 generations worth of children that shouldn't be there because of that accident that didn't happen. So now death is after the children of the original people from this like disaster, which is why it's called Bloodlines, because it's following the bloodline. So yeah, so it is quite a gory movie. So if you don't like gore, don't go and see this film. I'm guessing the people going to see this film would have already seen Final Destination movies before. Although with this one, because it's called Bloodlines, you might not realise it is a franchise. If you're young, sort of just turned of that age, and you kind of want to go see some horror movies, and you go this one, you might not realise the sort of backstory to this. If you are a fan, there are so many Easter eggs to the other movies in this movie. It's kind of like watching the Minecraft movie with your kids, where they're going like that, because they spot all these different Easter eggs and different characters and that. This movie's the same. There's little nods to all the other movies throughout this movie. I thought that was really great, little subtle hints. Like, you see a lorry go past, it's a log lorry. You know, that's sort of just a little subtle hint to a previous movie. I thought that was great. Yeah, so basically we're following this family, and this family is sort of finding out that death is after them. It's them trying to avoid being killed. And some of the deaths in this movie are up there with some of the best deaths in Final Destination. One day, it's going to take me a long time to do it, I might sit down and watch all the Final Destination movies and work out my favourite like top 5 death scenes or something from the whole franchise. And I'll do like the top, the order of the best sort of opening segments of the film as well. I think I might do that as well. I think that might be a good idea. Because there's so much and so many crazy death scenes in this franchise, so many wild, outlandish things that happen in this movies, in this whole franchise movies really, that is warranted a video, I think, at some point. But anyway, so back onto this film. So, as I said, if you don't like gore, you won't like this film. Now, the reason I say that is because the first time in a very long time I watched someone walk out of the cinema after a quite intense, gory scene. So as I said, we're going to get into some spoilers in this, so I will tell you some spoilers now. So please, if you don't want the film spoiled, go away, come back later after you've watched the movie, and then watch the video again if you want to do that. Or if you don't care about spoilers, you just kind of want to know a little bit. I'm not going to go into the whole film now, I'm just going to go into one specific scene. Now, the scene I'm going to talk about, as spoilers come up now, is the basically to try and avoid death. There's a conversation that happens where they find out you have to kill someone. You have to die and come back to life, basically. So, like in the second movie, someone drowns and then he's resuscitated back to life, and she survives the sort of curse. So, two brothers in this film come up with a plan. One of them's allergic to peanuts, so if he eats peanuts, he's obviously going to start to choke, possibly die, and then the brother's going to bring him back to life with like the EpiPen and all that. That's their plan. That's their genius plan. Even though we were told earlier by the expert, the legendary Tony Todd, the late pastor Tony Todd, they're told by him that if you mess with death, he will make it messy and he will come after you harder. They don't listen to that, so they go and try and do this thing where they're going to try and like cheat death in a way. And sadly, they decide to do this in a hospital, in an MRI room. Now, an MRI scan, if you don't know, I've recently been in one, is a giant like X-ray machine that you actually lay in, so you get your whole body goes into it, and it's like massively magnetic, and it basically can see straight into all the little in-depth parts of you and that. Like when they did mine, you could see the inside of my eyeball. It was really freaky. When I saw the video back, it was like, oh my god, it's really freaky. But it's really magnetic, and there's actually videos on YouTube and stuff of like being left on and like metal just flinging into the machine, because it's just like such a strong magnet inside that machine. And when you actually go in there, they make sure you don't have any metal parts to your body, like any like pins or anything like that, or any phones or anything that's metallic. They won't let you go in there with it because it can like get sucked into the machine. When I was in there, my wedding ring was like vibrating really rapidly. When I was in there, it was kind of freaky, but they said it would be okay. I said it's like vibrating, they said it's fine. So yeah, so that's one thing. So somehow they basically set off the MRI machine, sorry, and all of this metal starts to get attracted to it. Now, one of the brothers is heavily pierced. He's like a tattoo guy with like piercings. He's got his nose ring there. He's got like earrings. He's got all this other stuff. And of course, the machine starts to pull on it, and you see him going like, oh, and suddenly the ears get ripped out, like his earrings get ripped out, and his nose ring gets ripped out, and then you see his shirt starts to do that. So he's got nipple rings, and you say he's going to go, and they go basically. You don't see the actual thing, but you see him fly out of his shirt and a little bit of blood. So you're like, oh, and I was just like, oh no. Then you see his trousers do that as well. So obviously he's got piercings somewhere else, and that's getting pulled. And you're like, as a man who is a little bit squeamish about things going wrong down there, I was in the cinema, like, as you do, like, oh my god, I was like, oh no, like that. And then suddenly a wheelchair comes from nowhere and like hits him, like crushes him into the MRI, and he folds up and dies, blah blah blah. So I'm watching that scene, the scene finishes, and you get the big ending of the death and all that. And the guy, like 4 down from me, was sitting on his own, like I was sitting on my own, right, probably a little bit older than me maybe. He literally stood up, got his bags, and walked out of the cinema. And he just left. And I was like, I caught him out of the corner of my eye. And it wasn't like I'm going to a toilet, because you sort of leave your stuff there. But he literally packed everything he had up, bag on, and left. And he never came back. And he wasn't far from kind of like the ending of the movie. It was like 3/4 of the way through. And I was like, oh. So then I was thinking, like, did that upset him that much that he didn't want to hang around for the rest of the movie? Maybe sort of like feel a bit queasy maybe? it made me wince a lot, but I can't understand it because when I was younger, I watched the film. Probably shouldn't have watched when I was this young. When it first came out, got re-released after the Video Nasty thing, and it called "I Spit on Your Grave." And if you've seen that movie, you'll know there is a scene in that involving a bathtub that, if you're a man, will make you go cold. And when I watched that scene, when I was probably maybe I wasn't too young to watch, I was about 17 or 18. I literally felt queasy, and I felt a little bit not lightheaded. I felt a little bit like weird, and it was like, oh, and I turned the movie off for a second because I was like, oh, I don't like this. It made me feel very uncomfortable. So I don't know if he went through kind of what I went through then, because of maybe the piercing coming out of a certain area. I don't know, but it was just like weird how he sort of got up and walked out. He sit through a lot of other deaths, a lot of other gory things happened in that movie, a lot of nasty things happened in the movie, but that seemed to be the one scene that he left. I mean, it might not be nothing to do, maybe he got a phone call or something, I don't know, but it would just seem that it was that scene ended and he walked out the movie theatre. And I feel sad for that. It's not nice because obviously you pay your money for the film, and if it has made him feel ill or whatever, I really feel bad. It's not nice. But yeah, so it's great. It's a great movie, as I said. It's a great movie, but if you are squeamish, probably not for you, if you know what I mean. Just to let you know that scene. There are some other comical scenes here because we won't spoil. So, the bin lorry scene, I want to watch again just for how the scene happens. It is just genius. When you get a chance to watch this film, and also in the comments below, if you want to comment about like your favourite death in this film, please comment about your favourite death in this movie. But that bin lorry scene had me giggling like ridiculousness, and then it ends in a really horrific way. But like the way it happened, oh my god, it is absolutely fantastic. So if you haven't watched the film, and I've kind of spoiled that first bit for you, but if you haven't watched the movie, as soon as you see a bin lorry, get ready to laugh and then go oh, and then but laugh at what's happening. Because this film, I mean, the death scenes, they are horrific and nasty, but they're also comical. There is a little bit of comedy added to these horrific scenes. And I think that's what Final Destination does quite well, especially after sort of I think it's the third one they really started to do it. The first one's very serious, and like the death's quite serious, shocking but serious. Like as they got to the third one, they sort of added a little bit of humour to it, like the girl trapped in the sunbed, a little bit of humour to it. This one does the same thing. So like some of the deaths are horrible, like the serious deaths that sort of push the story forward, but the ones that are kind of like, let's just shock and awe and be crazy, those ones aren't as bad. So I will say it's a great thing. Now we'll go to Tony Todd now. So obviously this will be a bit of a spoiler as well, but it needs to be mentioned because Tony Todd, a legendary actor who played the Candyman, if you remember that movie, he's been in all the Final Destination movies. I'm pretty sure he's been in all of them. I know one of them he only did like a voice cameo for, but he's generally been in all of them. And he's always the kind of guy that knows what's about, kind of knows the situation and tries to advise the people death's hunting on what to do. Same in this movie again. But sadly, he passed away after filming this. This is his last movie. So it's quite sad it's his last movie. But then when you watch the scene he's in and how the scene ends, it hits you here. It's such an emotion. So if you know that he died after this film was made, and that is his last scene, if that is his very last thing he does in film, it's almost like a goodbye, and it's done impeccably well. It's like he obviously he knew he was ill, and he passed away. So, and obviously the filmmakers must have known he was ill, and the writers must have known he was ill. So if they've written this for him to say that, or if he was involved in the writing of it to say this, it is one of the nicest ways you could possibly have his final acting scene, in my point of view. Because to spoil it for you now, he says something along the lines, also I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not remembering the movie 100%, but he says something along the lines of like, as he goes to walk out the door, he says he's going to leave, he's not going to do this job anymore, he's going to leave, and he gets to the door and he turns and says, you need to live every moment of your life because you never know when it's going to end. And then he says, good luck, and he walks out the door. So the whole like, you have to live every moment of your life, and you never know when you never know when end's coming, so you've got to enjoy your life, was such an inspirational thing for him to say as he left, knowing that he was going to die soon as well. So it's almost like, to me, if I was a family member of his, and that's the last thing I saw him do on screen, that's that you can remember forever and have him like immortalised in that way. It's the last thing he says, that you've got to live your life. That's such an inspirational thing. And I thought that was an amazing thing that they did in that movie to kind of honour him. And I just thought that was fantastic. So, like, it's sad that Tony Todd has passed away. But to remember, like, it's kind of like, I don't know if you're wrestling fans or not, but the Ultimate Warrior did this massive promo in the ring, where it was such a good and inspirational promo that he did, and then he died a couple of days later. But like the words that he said kind of echoed about Warrior running forever and stuff like that. It was kind of similar to that, where you get such an inspirational thing and then the guy dies, and it's just like, what a way to remember him. So well done for the film for keeping that scene in, well done for him for writing it the way it was written and have it delivered by Tony Todd the way it was done. It was such a great scene. And he does look ill himself, because he was quite like a rugged, biggish dude. He looks very thin and very sort of like emaciated a little bit. So he was very ill at the time of filming. So well done for him for doing the movie, and the way he got sent off, well done. So it is a great film. I enjoyed it. It's not the best. Yes, it's not the greatest film. You're not going to win any Oscars for it or anything like that. But it is a fun, ridiculous, laughing, shock and awe, like stress building movie that you're just going to enjoy. It's a summer hit. Like, go out and watch it, enjoy it, have some fun. I mean, I'm lucky that my cinema does a midweek sort of like cheap ticket days, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, do like half price tickets. So and lucky this film came out on a Wednesday. I know they did like an early preview on last Friday, but then they did the proper release this Wednesday, and it was brilliant. I ain't gonna lie, it was a great film. As I said, I got the half price tickets on that one. So if your cinemas do that, take advantage of it. Really do take advantage of it, and go and enjoy this film. Because if you love the Final Destination movies, if you love like silly body horror type movies, if you love the craziness of like the suspense that build up, because like these films do build suspense. You're kind of waiting. Like, my favourite thing about these movies is that you're waiting for the disaster to happen. If you've seen the trailer they released, they did like a little trailer where you saw like a scene of the movie where they're in like a garden having a barbecue, and when that's happening, you're seeing all these different things happen, and you're literally like, what is going to kill them? There's like glass that's gone inside of like a drink, so you think they're going to drink that and choke on it. There's a rake underneath a trampoline, and it's sort of bouncing up and down. You can see sort of it's getting closer to the rake's like fault part, and the trampoline's ripping, and then you get like barbecue, like it's not lighting properly, and you wait for that to blow up. There's so many little things going on in that garden. You're like, where's it going to come from? And then when it does come, you're like, oh my god, because like it's crazy. And that's what this film does so well. It literally leaves you like, you're literally guessing. You're spending your time in this movie like the car star. You're sitting there waiting, trying to work out where it's coming from. So in the movie, you've got the girl walking around going like, well, that could do that, that could do that, that could do that. The whole way through the film, you're doing the same thing. You're looking at the surrounding area, not just the people in the scene. You're looking, is there anything around there that might cause a disaster? Like me now, if this isn't the film now, I'll be like, that gremlin could fall off there, hit the TV goes down, catches on fire, blows up, and I get glass in my face and die. Or like, I don't know, like the Chucky doll might slip off, knock the spider over, the spider then lunges to my face, I then panic and fall out my window. That's what this film's like. So you sit there, you're trying to analyse the whole movie as you're going through, like, where's the disaster going to happen? Where's it all going to come from? But enough of me talking now. If you haven't seen the movie, please go and watch it. I hope I haven't spoilt too much for you. I've tried my best not to. But yeah, get yourself out there and watch it, because I think you really will enjoy it, definitely. And look for your cinemas if they've got like an offer or a cheaper day that might get you in there quicker, because like I'm not financially well off at all. I've got like, I'm not, I'm just a general dude. So like, I find it for cinema quite expensive, but if they do like offers like this, get yourselves out there, really do. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've dealt with my weird face. I know like some people, it puts people off and that. It's just, it is what it is. I've got to deal with it. So that's just the way it is. But also, if my voice has gone up and down during this video, it's because I've actually caught a cold, which has gone into this ear. So I'm completely deaf in this ear. So this whole side of my face is just useless at the minute, to be honest with you. I don't know what the point is. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and enjoy yourselves the rest of the day, and be careful of dangerous situations. Goodbye. Oh, and if you can, like and subscribe, that'd be great. Because my kids like literally check on it every day to see how many more subscribers we got, and if anyone's liked our videos. And again, comment below what's your favourite death in this movie, and what's your favourite death in any other Final Destination movies. So any of the movies from the whole franchise, what is your favourite death? Please let me know. And also, what's your favourite opening sequence? I'm just interested anyway. And we'll have a little chat in the comment about it anyway. See you later guys. Enjoy yourselves. Bye. Alright, that video done. Wait, there's more washing on the line. Aha, Death, you didn't get me that time, did you? Ha!